Good morning, and how are you today? It feels as though autumn has hit us, and now is the season, now is the time up here in Orkney where I am trying to maximise all those wonderful things that I can forage, that I can find. I'm sorry if you can hear a hum coming from outside. It's a tractor driving around, moving some bales around, so that's what that hum is if you can hear it. So today, what we are going to be making is Nasturtium flower wine. These nasturtiums have been grown really well in pots around the chicken area. They are abundant, and now is the time to go and pick them before they turn to seed and before all the petals fall off. The best time to pick your nasturtium flowers is first thing in the morning when they're fully open and they still have the dew on them. So what you want to do if you want to make a gallon of nasturtium flower wine is go and pick about 1 pint's worth of the flowers. Lightly compact them into a pint glass, and it should be perfectly full without being pressed down. They are the nasturtium flowers ready now. Fantastic. I've made this wine a few years back, and it really is a delicious drop. Well worth making if you can get your hands on a pint of nasturtium flowers. It makes a very light, slightly pepperish floral wine. There's that hint of pepper, of peppercorns coming through at the back, yet it is still very floral, very light on the nose and on the palate. But it does have that peppercornish tingle, which is amazing. It really adds something special to the wine, and it goes really well with seafood. That pepper complements that salt and vinegar on your chips, and the iodine flavour if you add any seaweed or samphire. The nasturtium wine is great for seafood. The colour of your nasturtiums will also affect the colour of your wine. So if you use mostly yellowish, orangish nasturtiums, your wine is going to be paler than if you use deep red nasturtiums. And to be honest, it's good to have that combination, that mix of different colours. Each batch you make then will be unique and different. Very hard to replicate that colour in future years, but that is what makes each wine so special and unique, is that it's individual and has that personality. The first thing you want to do is grab yourself a sterilised, sanitised fermentation bucket, enough to hold at least the 1 gallon plus a bit more. Of course, if you are doing a 5 gallon batch of this, if you have that many nasturtium flowers and you want to make a 5 gallon batch, go for it. Just multiply the ingredients by 5. I did give these a quick rinse just to remove any bugs. I've checked them over, there's no added protein. If there were, the alcohol would kill them anyway. Drunken bugs, fantastic. So, pour in your nasturtium flowers, and then you want to put the kettle on and boil about 2 litres of water, because you're going to need that boiling water to dissolve your sugar. As I'm out here in my shipping container, I'm using my camping stove, so I'm going to get that ignited now and the water on the boil as we proceed with the next few steps. The nasturtiums offer a great deal of taste to the wine, that pepperish, delicious, divine, peppery bite to it. But the flowers do lack tannin, so I'm going to throw in 1 tea bag into the bucket. And the nasturtium flowers not only lack the tannin, they do lack the body to the wine. I like a wine where it has that good mouthfeel. You hold it on your tongue and you can feel that extra delicious taste of body, thickness to it. So adding a banana to your wine is a great way of adding body and depth to the wine. So simply peel in the bucket, as well as the whole banana into chunks, shove it straight in. Fantastic. No faffing around, don't bother using a knife, just break it into chunks. And as this is quite a light, delicate wine, you don't want it to be too strong or too sweet either. So I'm only adding 1 kilogram of sugar. That will give you a wine of about 11 to 12%, which to go with fish dishes and seafood dishes is perfect for lunchtime drinking. Of course, you can boost the sugar up if you want a stronger or sweeter wine, but that comes down to your own discretion. How do you like your wine? Do you like it strong? If so, add more sugar. play around with recipes. These are only guidelines. So, shove in 1 kilogram of sugar. And that mix of the flowers, the sugar, the banana and the tea bag is going to create a most delicious, divine wine for you. And the good thing is, it is quite quick to mature. So if you make it now in autumn, by the spring, it's going to be perfect. I don't like to age floral wines more than a year generally, because after a year, they start losing the aroma and the bouquet on the nose. But if you add a wee bit of glycerin before you bottle, it does help to preserve the aroma and the bouquet. And now, my water is coming to a near boil. I don't want it boiling, so if your kettle boils it, leave it stand and cool for a moment. Because if you pour boiling water onto your petals, it's going to burn them, and that burnt flavour will be noticeable in your wine. So don't use boiling water, just hot water. So over goes the 2 litres of water. And then we put the lid on and give it a quick shake just to get that sugar dissolved with the liquid. Already the aroma of the nasturtiums is coming through thick, fast, bold, and the colour is leaching out into the liquid. It's starting to turn yellowish, straw coloured. Have a look. What's your favourite floral wine? Let me know down in the comments what your favourite floral wine is. My personal favourite is gorseflower. You can't beat gorseflower wine or gorseflower mead. That is delicious. So if you want to check out the recipe for gorseflower wine, the link is up above and also down in the pinned comment below. So go check it out after this video. The next step we need to do is top up your bucket with the remaining 2.5 litres of water to bring it up to your 1 gallon mark. If you top it up with cold water, you can put your yeast in sooner. So just top it up to the 1 gallon mark and give it another good swirl around. Get those flavours working or mixing in. I'm running quite short of my favourite yeast packets. I'm down to about my last 12, so I need to reorder. And my favourite types of yeast is Cross My Loof. They do a wonderful range of different wine yeasts to suit different wine types. And I can always find a yeast that really complements the ingredients I'm using. So for my nasturtium wine, I'm using Elderflower wine yeast. So once your liquid is cool enough, sprinkle over your wine yeast, either a teaspoon or a packet. It depends how your yeast comes. Shake it in. And another good swirl to get it going. I'm going to set this nasturtium flower wine aside in a warm place for 3 days or 5 days. It depends on temperature and how the wine is looking and how busy I am. But between 3 and 5 days will be ideal. That time in the bucket will allow the yeast to have plenty of oxygen to start the aerobic fermentation. And as well, those nasturtiums and that tea and that banana to leach the flavour into the wine. So I will be back with you in a moment now. See you soon. Good morning, and how are you? Great to be back. My nasturtium flower wine has been in the fermentation bucket for 4 days now, and it is looking divine, delightful, brilliant. It's given off a wonderful, delicate, pepperish aroma, and the juice is looking brilliant, golden, bright, shiny. So what we need to do now is rack it into a demijohn. And I like to keep things simple, so I'm going to pass the contents through a colander to take out those larger flowers, the tea bag and the banana that went into the mix. So a big pot, a saucepan and a colander, and then simply pour the contents through the colander. Brilliant. So those flowers and that banana and tea bag will go into the compost heap. The aroma is floral, it's peppercorny, it's spicy, it's tingly on the nose, and the colour is brilliant as well. And now you want to grab yourself a sanitised demijohn and siphon the liquid into it. Good job. The colour, although looking a bit murky, which is quite common for floral wines, is going to be bright and golden and clear when that sediment drops right the way down. I can't wait to try this wine. I've taken a hydrometer reading and it's currently sitting at around the 9% mark, so quite a bit more sugar to be fermented out. But it's going to be a really good, brilliant, fantastic wine for next spring, next summer. I can't wait to try this one and do a taste test. And as always, you want to put in an airlock, and then you want to set it aside in a warm, dark place to finish off fermenting and to allow it to clear before you bottle and drink and enjoy. I do wonder what nasturtium leaf wine would be like. So you have fun now, and I will see you in the next video where it might be nasturtium leaf wine. Have fun.